Evening, everybody. This is the Hawk again. So we had some great news today. I've been up since 4 in the morning, pushing this report out regarding the five nations. It sent a letter to Ramaphosa regarding corruption and genocide and a few other things. And I can tell you right now, there's a lot of issues in between this. Um, and so let's begin. United States, Germany, England, Netherlands, and Switzerland sent it's unprecedented because it never went through uh, the foreign office to as part of a diplomatic pouch to the government to explain what happened. They went directly to Ramaphosa with a letter signed by all the ambassadors and commissions from these countries. They basically told Ramaphosa to put an end to the corruption in South Africa or the investments, which is almost 75% of the country's investments, will be cut off. Sanctions. Who wants to invest in a country where they're stealing your land? They're stealing your investments and telling you that they need to put their friends or this BEE business economical thing into power where they can take over every single company in the country and rape it to the point of there's nothing left. Well, this Zandule Commission is exposing all of this already. And not only that, is a number of filings that have been sent to different organizations, especially United States DOJ fraud office regarding all the corruption. It's rampant. Here's a problem for Ramaphosa. Mr. Ramaphosa, you remember me? I told you I'm coming. All the stuff I put out there, they're finally listening to us now. And everybody's doing it. Everybody's sticking their finger up somebody's nose and showing them that you are the problem. You have a big problem now, Mr. Ramaphosa, because you're the guy that's the corruptest one of all. How did you come out of jail and suddenly you become a billionaire without stealing people's money? Every single department in your government is corrupt, from the police to the last commission, the mayors, everybody. It's all corrupt. Why? It's because you're the head of the gang. You have a serious problem, Mr. Ramaphosa. Jacob Zuma, they put him back into parliament. Why? Because he threatened to expose them. So Ramaphosa goes on TV and says, we can only cleanse ourselves. We're going to cleanse this problem and we're going to fix it. And he goes to Europe and he says, oh, I'm so sorry, in his soft little voice. There's no crime in South Africa. There's no farm murders. There's no genocide. Mr. Ramaphosa, the five countries that just sent you this letter tells you that they think you're a liar and they do not respect you. Because if they respected you, they would have sent you diplomatic letters through diplomatic channels. They did not. They came directly to you. And that means that you are nobody. You are nobody. You're nothing. So when you have this kind of precedent done, that means the international communities have now taken notice of the farm murders, the genocide, and the corruption of your government. That means that you are out of control. You have no control over your country. Secondly, Jacob Zuma, the bribes from this Bosasa. You took a bribe from the Bosasa too, Mr. Ramaphosa. How can you be the head and send and organize some kind of anti-corruption commission that you are the head of when you're the biggest corrupter of all? Bosasa gave you 500,000 rand, maybe more, for your leadership fund. They're giving Zuma hundreds of thousands of rands a month in bribes. How, Mr. Ramaphosa, is your son-in-law going to buy Eskom? How? Where did he get the money? From you? So you can steal it? Or did you get it from the Chinese to steal it? The ANC cannot go to elections in May based on this information now. What needs to happen is the whole of the ANC needs to stand down. And until this corruption has been resolved, there should be no elections. The IEC has to tell the government of South Africa to stand down until the corruption issue has been resolved. It can't be. And I'll tell you why. The ANC themselves, every single parliamentary member is corrupt. If you realize he keeps shifting his parliament people around, the whole cabinet keeps getting shifted around and shifted around. Why? Because they're going from one department, raping it there, to the other department, and they're just the same person, just in another color, another suit. It's either a female or a male from different departments. They just jump them around, and they don't want to let them go. Why? Because they're all corrupt. They're all taking money. They have literally raped everything. Now, the biggest problem they have on their hands is on Saturday, the National Pension Fund. The entire committee resigned because they stole everything. There's nothing left. Now they have a problem because that letter came about from these 5 nations asking, wait a minute, where's the money? And the money's gone. They stole the pensions too. The entire committee resigned Saturday after their letter arrived. Does that seem very strange? So, on Monday, it's Black Monday. And Velta went to the IEC and gave them a letter saying, nobody should be in power. And she did this a week ago. Nobody should be in power if they're corrupt, or they have a criminal case against them, or they are criminally charged for anything. ANC, it's time to resign. Under the charter of the IEC, the BLF and the EFF need to be disbanded. And believe me, we will make it our mission to make sure that the ANC, the EFF, the BLF, and if the DA joins them, we will destroy them with sanctions. You will never get investments in South Africa if it's the last thing I do. You cannot have a criminal in power stealing. How the hell do you have rule of law when the people that are running the rule of law are the criminals themselves? These 5 countries have basically told this government, you're out of control. You have lost the reins. You are the biggest criminals of all. As for the genocide, I defy anybody that says it's not happening. And soon, USAC has got all the paperwork right now. We're working through it. We will file with the UN. We're going to file with a whole bunch of human rights organizations as well. Believe me, Mr. Ramaphosa, I told you I was coming, and we are. And here's the thing that I need to see, Mr. Ramaphosa cannot put together a corruption commission with ANC members. It needs to be international criminal investigators that are financial accountants, detectives, financial people, FBI, and so forth. Otherwise, nobody should invest in South Africa. It should be an international commission with no ties to the ANC or any government members. The ANC has lied to all the black people in South Africa. They've blamed the white people. They've raped every pension fund. They have broken all the supply of electricity buildings, sold generators, done everything, no maintenance. Schools are falling apart. Children were killed last week, black and white children. This wasn't all just about white children. This was also in that incident. It's because of incompetence, lack of unity, always blaming, pointing the finger. It has to stop, everybody, white and black. Stop blaming. Start working together. There is moderate blacks out there that don't want this either. And I know you all work together and then you all talk shit at the end of the day. It's nonsense. If you want to work together, work together. Look, I understand people want to keep their cultures. Listen, a Zulu wants to be a Zulu, Afrikaans wants to be Afrikaans, colored people have their way, Indian people have their way, and English people have their way, and so on and so on and so on. Guys, do it. But you're all one nation. You've all been there since the 16th century. Stick together. Figure it out. There is a way. And I'm going to talk about it in a minute. There is a way. To the people that are supporting the EFF, they're lying to you. Malema is ANC. And just before the elections, he's going to go, oh, my daughters, I'm going to join the ANC. And then he's going to tell you all to join the ANC, and you'll all be lied to again. And the same Tsotsis will take over the country and take your money. Look at the schooling. There's one thing Malema did say that is right. Schooling should be free for everybody, and there should be a law that you all go to damn school. Because if you're not educated, it's easy to train somebody with nonsense. It's not easy to tell somebody that 10 Rand is 20 Rand. Or tell somebody that the empty bag of chips is going to give him money. No, you know better. But if you're not educated, you listen to a fool. And Malema is a fool. And Dile needs to go to jail for calling for people to be murdered. You ever see a white man stand up and say, kill the black lady, kill the black children? Never. Never seen one before. This nonsense needs to stop, and it will. Now, USEC. About USEC. So we've moved on from that internal nonsense that happened a couple of weeks ago. Good luck to them, whatever. Anyway, so on Sundays, Tammy's going to do an open mic with you guys. I'd like to do an open mic with you guys, but I am so busy. There may be a time when I get a break, I can do it. But every Sunday at 7 o'clock South Africa time, PM, she'll have an open mic and you guys can talk about things. She's got good ideas for you guys, and she'll guide you in a lot of stuff and let you talk. Let you guys get this frustration out, give you hope, let you express yourself. And if you've got ideas, great ideas, bring it up. Bring it up. Okay? As for the, before I carry on, the farm murders. Guys, they are old people sitting out on those farms by themselves. They do not have help. If you do not have a job, if your family is stranded, go find a farm. Ask him if you can help it. The more people on those farms can help. Now, back to USEC, that we're going to do those filings for the genocide thing and get that through. The petition, we got a petition section in the USEC, so it's www.usec.center. We have a petition section in there. We've got my petition going, and let me tell you about that petition. Trump filed the the Eli Wiesel Genocide Prevention Act, which gives out petition teeth. I need 100,000 signatures before the end of the month. Guys, come on, you got to help me. Then I want 1 million signatures. Send this out to all your family overseas. We got 5 million people over there. We can get 1 million signatures. Listen, we got these guys on the run. I need you guys to help me. You help me, I help you. 1,000,000 signatures is power. 1,000,000 signatures is power. And with that Visor law, it brings the Americans on our side. It brings everybody on our side. I can take this to the UN and they can't look away. They cannot look away. Right now, 5 countries just told the ANC to go shove it up their nose. Why? Because they don't believe they bullshit. That means they believe ours. Do you understand how much power we have right now? Sign my damn petition. There's another one in there. Willie Jordan Jr. He's a lawyer, attorney, South African attorney. He's also got one in there. Also about genocide. Doesn't matter. Sign the damn thing. Okay? And we will look at the petitions that have been sent out, and if they are viable and they're there for a good reason and no other reason, guys, I'll put it on my website. Tammy will help me. We'll put it and she's there for you to help as well. Just contact her, and if we think it's a good idea, we will review everything and we'll put it on. Another thing, there's a resource page on there that you can do internet work, right? It helps you get jobs. It'll give you skills to move on. And if you go overseas, those same jobs follow you. All right? Guys, try it. Do it. There's going to be an immigration section on there for immigration forms, how to sign them, fill them out, asylum, all that kind of stuff. That's if you want to leave. If you don't want to leave, that's fine too. Okay? There's going to be an immigration lawyer on. He's going to help you guys. And Tammy's got a live feed or if not a live feed, but maybe an interview with this guy explaining how the process is. And believe me, buddy, I went through that process, and it took me a year of paperwork, and it took me another 8 years to become a U.S. citizen. It is not easy, and believe me, if you make a mistake, it doesn't go well. So you got to know how to do it, all right? And you got to know how to do it right. Okay. So, like I said before, I'll recap now. I'm demanding that the ANC cannot go to elections in May until this corruption issue has been resolved. You cannot go to elections with the entire country in disarray when 90% of the 99% of the damn people in the government are corrupt or criminals. And if that's the case, the ANC needs to step down. The BLF and the EFF needs to be disbanded as a party. And the ANC should be disqualified as corrupt and out of control and cannot be done. Because listen, if they go back to power, you're going to have massive corruption. And you're going to have a massive problem with your economy. And by Monday morning, I will not be surprised if the Rand dollar exchange has not tanked, based on the fact that the whole National Pension Fund committee resigned. Does this tell you something? And I'm calling on all black people in South Africa. Do not vote for the ANC. And the reason I'm telling you that is because the international community is telling you we're not lying to you. We are not lying to you. Ramaphosa went over there on handed knee. He's bending over backwards, begging the same white people he's telling you to hate and trying to borrow money. What does that tell you? He's also trying to starve you as well, because he's trying to kill all the farmers. And he doesn't have a plan for the farms. He does not have co-op ideas. He doesn't have anything like that. He just wants to take the land to get your vote, to sit back in parliament and steal your money. And this is not about racism. You have to understand, Africa is not a color. And for 400 years, black people, white people, colored people, Khoisan, Indians, and all kinds have lived in that area of that country. And every child that was born there is an African, including me. I was born in Natal. So you can class me as an African American, but my skin is white, because Africa is not a color. It's a piece of land. And you all have to live together. Based on these 5 nations telling Ramaphosa to clean up his act and sort this out, he can't because he's corrupt himself. He himself is a criminal. Zuma is a criminal. His son is a murderer and a criminal too. Their hands are dirty, all of them. And Ramaphosa, Zuma, Andile, Malema, and all these people, including the general of the police, and there's a number of other people. And there's Lindsay Zumaman, or whatever your name is. You're on my shit list. And when this is over, I will see if you smile about killing white children. You didn't talk about the black children that died or were hurt. You only talked about the white children and you laughed about it. Because all you are is a wannabe black person trying to get attention. I don't think you could fight yourself out of a wet paper packet. But we will find you, and you will be done one day with the rest of them. And we're going to charge you for crimes against humanity. 70,000 white people have been murdered since 1994 because they tried to boil the frog in the water. Well, guess what? The frog joy, he climbed out the pot because he wasn't stupid. And now the internet is killing you, buddy. Everything you do is on the internet. Everything you try and scam is on the internet. Everything is out there now. All the international countries know who you are, and they're coming for you. Now for some good news. I've been working behind the scenes with a bunch of parties, and that's why I've been quiet. I believe with a coalition of parties that believe in the same policies, the same ideas, and adapt this, can change the whole of Africa, starting with South Africa. It's called the African Alliance Charter. It's based on Christian principles. And what we want to do is join parties together in a coalition, signing this charter, adopting Christian principles of law, anti-corruption, good schooling, proper governance, and all this kind of stuff. And once we have that, and we've established it, and it's working, we want to push that throughout Africa. And there's other Northern African land leaders on this charter as well that are actually working with us with this charter to stop the corruption, stop the elites taking over, just stop all of this. No more. It's done. It needs to stop. No more raping, no more pillaging, no more taking, no more just doing everything against the people that live there. And this is black and white. It doesn't matter. No more. A hungry man will listen to anybody if he thinks he's going to get something. We have to put our people back to work. We have to stop them raping the mines. We have to stop them from doing all these stupid things that just destroy everything just so that they can steal. I give you an example. If the trade unions were that good, back in Natal, back when I was there many, many years ago, there used to be like 50 Putco depots, the Green Mambas. They employed thousands of people, hundreds of people. And the union came. And within 5 years, there was only 10 left. And after a while, there was only 5 or 6 left. And they were like, what's going on? Well, the unions kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. Another thing, there was a bread company that had been in business for nearly 100 years. And the union came there. They told all the drivers they had to join the union. And they went to the main driver and they said, you need to join the union. And he said, no, everybody's happy. They got pensions, medical. They got good money. They're happy. They have a job. They found him the next day in his truck with a bullet hole in his head. And they all joined the union. And within 2 weeks, they had a strike. And within a year, the company collapsed and closed down. and so on and so on and so on. It's like a parasite. It's just parasites. It has to stop. Tomorrow is Black Monday. Please wear black. Please wear black. Please support this. Let them know everybody's against it. You have to realize that once your food goes, you're going to die. You'll be another Zimbabwe. Look what's happening to Zimbabwe. No food. They put all the money on the internet, and when they closed the internet down, nobody had money. They're crossing the border into your country right now. You're creating more havoc than ever. Save the farmers. Talk to your black people. Talk to them. Try. Explain. I know you don't believe me, but talk to them. Explain. When the farms are gone, there's no food. Look at Zimbabwe. There is moderate blacks out there. There is moderate guys out there that want to listen. They're just scared. You're all scared. You're all scared of each other. It's got to stop. This African charter, this Liberty Charter, is the answer. It's based on Christian principles of right and wrong, of proper law and order, schooling, everything, everything. And there's a lot of Christian leaders out there that want to do this and want to join. There's over 1 million of them, million people supporting this thing. In a couple of weeks, less than a week, hopefully by the end of next week, the charter will come out. And we will post it as well. And we would like every party to sign this charter and go forward. And in peace, together, everybody. But Mr. Ramaphosa, you remember my name? I told you I'm coming. And you cannot be in power anymore. You, Malema, Andile, Mamama, whatever your name is. It means shit, by the way. You gotta go. You don't belong there no more. You're an old system of government that just doesn't work. Why are your people robbing people if they were so good, if you were so good, why are you on your hands and knees in England and America and everywhere trying to get money because you screwed up? If you were that good, you should be 25 years ahead, not 25 years behind. Actually, you're now 400 years behind because you screwed up what people built over 400 years. No more. Good night, everybody. And be safe out there.